Hi everyone, Raquel here from Scrapcosy. Welcome to another video where I'm using one of the newest stamps from my June 2021 release with PaperArtsy. These are all the stamps in the release. The theme is the forest. And these are all the stencils, which are very playful. Today I'll work with the owl stamp set and I'll show you how I created this vintage card. It's very simple to make, very little surprise are needed, and I love how it turned out. Okay, let's get started. I'm selecting two of the stamps, the owl and the sentiment night owl. And I will stamp those using VersaFine Clear Pinecone. VersaFine Clear is a waterproof ink, so it will allow me to work with some water on top of it and my image will stay put. It will not smear or disappear or anything. So I'm just adding well amount of ink and I'm stamping my image there. I'm using the PaperArtsy paper Smoothie Heavy Cardstock, which is very good for infusions and I love to work with it. Now I'm stamping also the sentiment in just like a little corner over there. And now I'll start adding some color. I'm using Infusion's Golden Sands and I'm spritzing some water. And I'll do like a washout effect first. So I'm just dissolving all the walnut crystals and the different dyes powders, and then once it's homogeneous, then I'm going to apply it on the surface. If you're not new to my channel, you already know about infusions a lot, but for those who joined for the first time, infusions is a powder that it has some dyes and then it also has some walnut crystals. So it's two components and they dissolve at a different rate, speed with water. Okay, so if you want to really dissolve both of them, then you really need to make sure that your mix is very well mixed, let's say. And well, I have a lot of videos about how to use infusions in many different ways, and here I'm just using it for watercoloring. And I'm adding some more water. I wanted an intense color here, so I was adding very little water, but that was a bit too dark, so I added a little bit more water, and then now I'm just adding that color over there. So I'm going to be using this color only, and then you'll see me that I'll combine this with an ink, but that's all that I will be using for adding color to the owl. This is at normal speed, so you can see that I was taking my time and enjoying adding color to this owl. But then I'm going to speed it up a little bit, so then you don't get bored, basically. So now it was just a matter of adding more color here and there, and just, yeah, adding shadows where I think I need to. So I'm adding like a base, and then I will start adding some touches here and there, and I'm making it as dark as I want with another layer and another layer. And once I'm done, I'm going to dry a little bit, and then I'm going to try Distress ink with some water as well, so that will add like a warmer brown, and I'll add it here and there. Again, little touches and mixing it with water. This is so much fun and relaxing. I really like to just go ahead and, well, color my images. You can add as much or as little detail as you want. It's just, I was having fun and I just really like to add little touches. And I think that it looks more finished and with more volume, basically. So you just take your time and decide what you want to do, basically. And once I'm done, then I will just color the eyes, and then I'll focus on the background, basically. So I'm mixing more infusions with more water, and I'm just using a splatter brush here to create some marks. So basically I'll do some splatter on top of the card. And then I'm going to dry this. And then my next layer is going to be with Distress ink. This is the regular ink, and I'm applying with a sponge dauber, and I'm focusing on the edges because I want them darker. That will make that your eye kind of pops into the image. And then I'll add it even a bit more closer to the owl, but not touching to the owl. So if you see, there is kind of like a glow around the owl, and it's because I'm not adding ink over there, so that even makes it pop a bit more. And because it's distress, then if I add some splashes of water, then the ink is going to react and it's going to wick. and it's going to make those splashes, which are beautiful and I like it very much. So it's going to leave things white. So I'm going back again and then adding another layer of ink, because even if I like those white splashes, I think they look even nicer when they become dark again. So you can repeat this step as many times as you want actually, but I just stop there. So basically adding ink and splashes of water, more ink, more water, but yeah, I just stopped at 2 layers basically. And now I'm creating like the background card that will be the base for my little piece. And I'm using the same ink that I used to stamp the owl. And I will just add on top of this one, because this is like a bit, I don't know, purplish brown. So I'm adding on top of that the same ink that I used before, the Vintage Photo Distress, to make it a bit warmer. And then I'll just mount it. It doesn't need much more. So I'm just using this double-sided tape adhesive to attach it, to put it in place basically. But at this point I wanted to kind of stop there, but then I thought, a little bit of gold wouldn't look bad on here. So then you'll see me now that I will start using some embossing powders, the ones that I released with WOW. I'm using the Decadent Ruby and it's reddish, so you don't see it too much because the red is translucent, but you will see the gold coming there. So I'm just using this sachet, which removes a little bit the static from the paper, and then I'm going to use just that powder. And the way that I'm applying is super simple, it's just with water. So the powder will actually stick to anything that it's kind of wet, so water should be enough. If for whatever reason it doesn't stick, just add a little bit more water and it should be enough. So the powder will stick to those drops, and then I'm just applying here and there the powder, and then I'm going to just heat set it with a heat tool, so then the powders will melt and will become gold with a touch of red. So that's how it turned out, and because I mounted everything, then the actual outside of the card also it's glowing in gold basically. And I added 2 more stars. I didn't put it in the video, but basically are 2 metallic embellishments. So this is how it turned out, and I like it very much. It's very simple, but I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you like it too. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel if you're new here. And I'm putting here some videos for you, so if you want to check them, maybe you may like them. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!